Welcome to Property Banter by Pinnacle Buyers Agents. My name's Michael Lezaja, and in today's episode, we're going to be talking about property management secrets. And if you are a Queensland property investor, you're going to want to watch this. We've got Chelsea Keane from Heywood Property here. This is going to be a great episode. Let's go. Welcome, Chelsea.
Thank you for having me.
Oh, most welcome. We've planned this for quite a few months now, actually. Yeah. It's really good to have you on. We haven't done an episode on property management, and this is one of the most important things the majority of investors don't pay attention to or don't take seriously, including, looking for the cheap property manager option, right?
Yeah.
When you spend so much money growing a portfolio, running a portfolio like a business, you should be managing it correctly.
Yes, you should be.
So we've been watching your reels.
Yes, thank you.
Insta famous reels.
Yes.
And they've been fantastic, and you provide so much information for tenants and landlords alike. So we've wanted to get you on here to talk about all things property management and what Queensland property investors should know.
Yes.
And they're not all in Queensland. They're all a lot of them are from down south as well. But what they need to know about property investment management. Fuck, you get it. So what's happening in the market right now? I'm seeing vacancy rates at 1%. So stock's very tight right now. And this is one of the key points we look at as investors. We want to make sure that we're buying in a market where you can get tenants. Are you finding there's a lot of applicants for each property out there right now?
There are far more tenants looking at property than there are property available.
Yeah. So there's far more.
So there is not enough property for the amount of tenants that are looking. It is unbalanced across multiple suburbs.
Yeah.
It's quite concerning, but it's good for investors.
From an investment perspective, of course, right? So you know that there's always going to be tenants for your property.
There's no shortage there.
But when you're a tenant trying to get into an area, what's the hardest area to get into if you're a tenant? Where is there no stock?
There's
everywhere.
a lot. Yeah.
It's everywhere.
It's everywhere.
Yeah.
It's not just one suburb.
Yeah.
It is.
This is Brisbane wide. This is sunny coast as well.
Yes,
Gold Coast.
It is, and also, Gold Coast is its whole different kettle of fish.
Gold Coast has gone nuts. I remember there was so many empty apartments. There's so many apartments for sale. Now it's all filled up. Apartments off the plan are sold.
So, yep.
Everything is it's hard to find a rental there. A lot of people moving from Sydney and Melbourne. That market is like Brisbane, Gold Coast. This is the true number 2 of the Australian property market. Forget Melbourne.
Yeah.
Everyone's moving here.
We are seeing a lot of applicants actually relocate from Melbourne.
Yeah.
Because obviously the weather is an issue in Melbourne to start off with.
Yeah.
But also the legislation down there.
The government, yeah.
Yeah.
They're throwing the government bashing quickly.
Yeah, absolutely. So people are relocating to have a better lifestyle in Brisbane, but they cannot find property.
They're struggling.
Yeah.
Yep. The lack of stock, though, going back to the lack of stock in Brisbane, have you seen that change over the last year? And what do you see in the next 12 months? Because I see it continuing.
Yeah, I see it continuing.
Yeah.
There has been no change since COVID.
Yeah.
The market has really been strong ever since.
Yep. This is the place to be, though.
It is the place to be.
We have record low unemployment. We've got, 40 to 50 or 60,000 new jobs now for the Olympic Games infrastructure.
Yes.
So they're not all going to be local. There's going to be plenty of people coming from interstate to take advantage of the jobs, right?
Yes.
And we know that they're going to be paid well. So they're going to take a little bit of the locals moving from the other jobs, from general resi construction. But those people coming in from interstate, they're going to put more of a strain on that vacancy.
They will. And also this is why I've said to some of our investors that are looking at selling is to consider that market that will come and hold. Because really, unless you have a reason to sell also, I wouldn't be, because the rents are only going to continue increasing, because that supply, that demand versus supply will be even worse.
So look,
I don't see it changing.
It's not going to change. No. We also had a lot during COVID. A lot of Mexicans escape the south of the border from Melbourne, come up to Queensland during COVID, right?
We did.
But the amount of migration, we've still got 230,000 migrants coming to Australia this year, or 260 this year again. But Queensland still continues to be the number 1 for interstate migration of any state, and it has been for the last decade. And that's not going to stop. People want to be here, and everyone from here doesn't. I said that on my last podcast. No one moves back to Sydney or back to Melbourne.
Yeah.
When you move here, you're here.
Yes.
You'll move around here.
Yep.
But you stay here. So I think that's going to continue. And we're not bringing supply to the market.
No.
The cost of construction is going to go up this year with the Olympic Games infrastructure, taking some of the labour over to do that infrastructure, and the cost per square metre I foresee going up. So there'll be a lack of completions. That means no supply. The demand's going to continue.
Yes.
The rents are going to continue tracking upwards.
They are.
Let's get into some of the biggest mistakes investors make, and they're all making them. I still make mistakes till today. Investors are focused very much on their money.
Yes,
right?
they
Let's say it, right? Investors, they're in business
Yes.
to make money, right? And what are you seeing? Some of the biggest mistakes investors are making, in management.
First of all, they go for the cheapest management fee.
Yeah,
That is the first biggest mistake that you can make.
yeah,
Now, a lot of the time, for me, if someone asks me, will you lower your management fee?
yeah,
Straight off the bat, and a lot of them do, I ask them, what is important to you as an investor?
yeah,
What is the most important to you when someone is managing your property? Because then usually for me from that, I then can understand, what is important, or if it's just the money and a cheap fee, well,
yeah,
good luck.
yeah.
To you.
Because you can't. It's funny. You can't have both. You can't have both because a property management business wouldn't be profitable. But you can just have, and I think there are places that just do. We collect your rent, send you a statement, but don't talk to us.
Yeah.
Type thing, right? And
That's
you pay
right.
less for them.
You do. I think you can pay 5%, might be even less now. Some are 4%, and it is just rent collection only.
Yeah,
And then you do everything else. Yeah. So you will do your routine inspections. You will do your account keeping.
No. As an investor, that sounds like a nightmare.
I know.
Yeah.
So you really need to not focus on the management fee.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, what's the difference now between if it's an 8.8 versus a 7.7? What is it? $4 or on average? What is it?
Yeah, $4.
Yeah. And it's ridiculous to go spend $800,000 on investment property, and then the $4 a week is the sticking point.
That's right.
And one of the most important parts is how that property is managed from there on out, right?
Yes.
To go through all the hard work to save the deposit, to buy the right deal, to use a buyer's agent, to whatever, all the things add up. And then you're like, shit, I really need this $4 right now. That doesn't make sense.
It doesn't make sense at all. And also, when you think about the consequences that can occur from saving that $4 over a 12-month period, it's not worth it. No. Because if you have someone that doesn't report to you that your shower is leaking, you've got a bathroom renovation, you've got floorboards to be fixing, that's going to cost you more than what you thought you saved.
Well, I was just telling you earlier how I had a 5.5% property manager in Logan, and I won't name him, but not impressive whatsoever. And this property manager failed to tell me that the tenants took me to QCAT, and they didn't show up to QCAT. I didn't know QCAT was on. I just got the $3,000 bill from QCAT, and of course QCAT. If no one shows up, they'll just favour the tenant, right? Now, but I didn't know or was reported any of the issues that the tenant was facing or dealing with. So because they weren't communicating with me, and then they didn't communicate that we were going to QCAT. So I got none of it, and then I just got the $3,000 bill, and that was the price I paid for the 5.5% Logan property manager.
And that is very common. And also the communication piece there is the biggest problem.
Yeah.
Is that if you are not being communicated with, and you know this, I can tell you now you'll be in a situation like that. Yeah, no, we're definitely going to want to try and avoid that. So I personally don't focus on the fee. I focus on who's doing a good job, who's going to look after the property. That's the most important thing to me, because we make our money from buying well as buyer's agents, right? So we've already nailed it. We know what we're doing on this end. The $4 or whatever is not where we're looking to cut corners or cost cut. Yeah. Tell me about maintenance issues as well. I want to talk about that. So this is a common one that happens. Some landlords are very proactive with managing or getting onto issues straight away and approving. Yes. Some will be like, no, I'm going to sell it. Have you heard this one? Yeah, all the time. Or I want multiple quotes. Yeah. The multiple, I mean. You don't sound happy with that. No, because I get it. Everyone wants to make sure that they're getting. Quote. Yeah. That you're going to get someone that's going to give you a cheaper price. And also, there is a shortage of trades. Yeah. That's its own problem. So all that occurs during this process of organising quotes, trades, is you're losing time. Your issue at the property is getting worse. Yeah. Your tenants are then going to start requesting rent reductions for the period that they haven't been able to use this particular area of the property. Yeah. Maintenance is a problem, obviously. It's a key. Yeah. I think
So what's the standard amount of quotes that your property manager should be getting? So is it like I'm going to get 2 quotes for you?
Two is the minimum.
You're right.
2 is the minimum because obviously it's natural to want to compare prices.
Yep.
But I think anything more than 3 or 4 is you're wasting your time.
Yep.
You are exposing yourself or your landlord to compensation claims from the tenant.
Yeah. If obviously you're just waiting for like the next quote, and the problem hasn't been fixed for 6 weeks.
Correct. And the turnaround times for quotes these days are 4 to 6 weeks.
Are they?
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah. And the good trades are booked.
Yes.
The good trades are booked. The people that have availability right now, I would be questioning the level of work that they're going to do in your property.
Yeah.
And if it's not someone that we've worked with before, we don't know what sort of work they're going to be doing in your property.
Yeah. Let me touch on something. I'm going to go on a slightly different tangent, but similar. I've come across property management businesses that will purposefully overcharge landlords. So I had one that charged $700 for a grass cut on a 400 square metre block, right? Listen to that. $700 to cut the grass on a 400 square metre block of land with a house on it, of course, right? It's 400 square metre block. That's literally them profiting. And I don't know what sort of kickbacks they're getting, but I have seen this time and time again because you know that we refer to property managers all around Australia.
Yeah.
So we do encounter heaps of different managers.
Yeah.
So I'm pretty good at picking, right? Generally, right?
Yeah.
And seeing I know what's right and what's not.
Yeah.
And $700 to cut grass doesn't matter if you don't have to be a buyer's agent or experienced to know that might be a little bit expensive.
Yes.
Have you heard of things like this going on? Because
some of these tradesmen have been working with me for over a decade.
Yeah.
I work with them because they do great work. They look after our investors. They also think with the investor in the front of their mind so that if they're at the property and go, Chelsea, I can repair this for X, Y, I will. But if they look at that job, for example, and go, oh, I cannot, and I'll be back here in 3 or 6 months doing this again, here's the proper quote to fix it properly.
Yeah.
You know, that's the expectation that we have. But I've seen randoms that owners may have selected offline and said, oh, can you call this person, ask them to quote for me? And they'll go in and I'm looking at the cost going, what?
Yeah.
They've actually just quoted more than what our other guy has. I actually just had one yesterday. What was it for? What did he quote? Blinds. The guy, so we got 2 quotes. One guy quoted 770. The other guy 1440.
So it's like double.
Double. Completely different.
Wow.
I'd already approved the first quote because that was really cheap for what it was.
Yeah.
But I'm thinking, where's the extra 700 come from?
Yeah.
For the same thing in a 2-bedroom, 1-bath unit.
Yeah. That's amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I mean, we don't get kickbacks, but you wonder where.
Yeah. I think going straight to Google and trying to find that exact.
Or Airtasker.
Are they doing Airtasker?
Yes. Yeah. Some investors think Airtasker is the place to go when they're not happy with the quotes that we've supplied from our tradesmen.
Yeah.
That's dangerous. There's no insurance.
Yeah.
I don't know who these people are.
So Airtasker is just a random person just doing whatever job, but doesn't have to be licensed.
Yeah.
Or
I had an owner use some random guy off Airtasker to do the bathroom tiling.
Okay.
In the shower.
Yeah. So you've got to be careful with that.
You do.
Yeah. But you do pay for it a lot of times. So on the buyer's agent side, I get clients that will go and find their own conveyancer.
Yes.
And it will be the cheapest one that pops up on Google.
Yep.
And they'll have an external team overseas. Bad communication. They don't know how it works because there's a fine way to the art form of the deal and making sure every party's happy.
Yes.
Communication with the sales agent, talking to everyone, making sure everyone's good, and there's a way in which it's done. They look for that cheapest one. I would never go for the cheapest conveyancer on my purchase. If you want to tight-ass the conveyancer, tight-ass it on the way out when you sell. Don't tight-ass it on your purchase.
No, absolutely not. And I've experienced the tight-ass conveyancers.
Yeah.
Because, to be honest, they're bad. And until I actually had that experience, I thought they all operated on the same level. But you have to remember that not every individual that works for you has the same communication skills, has the same level of care.
Yeah.
And it is really clear in property.
Exactly. So it's very, very different.
Yes.
The other thing I want to talk about is compliance. Let's get into compliance. I know it's not next on your list right
Oh,
now, so don't look at it.
Yeah. I was like, hang on, wait.
But I want to talk about it
Yes.
because I think it's very, very important. And that is, your smoke alarm compliance, your water compliance and so on. What are the things that landlords in Brisbane really need to ensure that they have their property manager take care of?
Well, they need to make sure that their property manager is on top of the compliance and understanding why they are important, first and foremost, because it leaves a landlord completely exposed to so many issues.
Yeah.
If you're not on top of smoke alarm compliance, you don't know when they're due to be serviced, when they need to be checked. If you don't have your water compliance certificates in place, legally tenants don't have to pay you water.
Yep.
Because
they can request. Can they request that you provide?
Yes, tenants can request that you provide that proof that the home is
if you don't
compliant.
have it,
and if you don't have it, and I've had that happen where a tenant realised, so there was a leak at the property, the plumber went to the property to repair it, the tenant asked a question, the plumber said the home wasn't compliant. Now, whether or not that plumber should have said that, because obviously...
That's a different topic.
Yes.
Yeah.
That then made the tenant call the agent, ask for a copy of the certificate.
And they didn't have it.
So then they were required to reimburse that tenant $2,000.
And then they pay back, because if you don't have it, you have to pay back right up until they moved in.
That's right.
Yeah, when the lease started.
Correct.
Yeah,
so if the tenancy's been in place for 6 years and that tenant has been paying water for 6 years...
That's crazy.
That is crazy. But it's the law.
Yeah.
So if you have someone that tells you, let's just go ahead, we'll charge the tenant.
Yeah.
And not tell you what's required.
You've got to get it.
Yeah.
You got to get that water
Pool
compliance. The other thing is pool compliance as well, yeah. I think you should also get physical copies of these.
Yes.
And I've had times when you've moved property managers and they just hand your new property manager the keys.
Yeah.
So if you've paid for a water compliance certificate and you don't actually have the copy on you, you should keep a file at home on your computer. Print it out if you want. Keep a physical file, whatever you want to do, but have it on you so that if you do change property managers and they turn around and say, oh, your file got lost or this is all we had, right? Because I've heard this one before. We only got the keys.
Yes.
And that's because they've chosen to bin all of your documents and all the things that they've got and just hand the keys. And I've seen that happen.
Yes, so have I. Because then when you take over a management from another agent and you ask for certain documents, those documents don't exist.
Yeah.
So, well, then how, you ask the question, well, how have you been charging your tenants water?
Yeah.
How have you, when was the last time your pool compliance was done?
Because now you're exposed.
You are exposed.
Or you got to go redo another.
And it's going to cost you another audit.
Yeah. Shocking. So you got to be careful of that. So with water compliance, how does water compliance actually work for those at home who aren't familiar with it?
So a plumber is engaged. They go through the property. They do a full audit of the fittings and fixtures to make sure that they meet that flow rate required. If the property does meet compliance, then they'll issue you the certificate on the spot for the call-out cost. But if the property is found to not be compliant, then they'll obviously quote you the works needed, and you'll need to do those repairs to bring it up to the standard it needs to be. Now, this is the other thing, actually. So with water compliance, tenants might think that they're being helpful around the home. The shower head might be leaking, or they don't like the shower head that exists in the property, or it needs to be higher in the shower because someone's too tall, or the sink tap might need a new aerator. But the problem is that if you, and you're happy, obviously in some cases, yes, you're happy for your tenant to help you out, do some maintenance around the property. But if you have a tenant replace a shower head or an aerator on your taps, that's voided your water compliance.
So if the tenant does it, voids your water compliance, even though you got a water compliance done, you're still at risk as the landlord.
Yes, because now they may have put in a new aerator that has a flow rate well and truly higher than what's required, and in the shower, that doesn't meet compliance.
Yeah.
So in that case, what we do is if a tenant does say to us, oh, we want to do this, are you happy?
Yeah.
I mean, we'll always engage a plumber, or the tenant needs to, but they need to pay for the new water compliance.
Yeah.
Because we've had it happen. Tenants replace shower heads, think they're doing a lovely job, send us a photo after the fact.
Yeah.
Oh, hey, don't worry about it. Went to Bunnings, replaced the shower head. Great. Well, now you've just voided the owner's water compliance.
Wow.
So you need to pay for a new certificate.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like the landlord gets the blame anyway, even if they did the right thing.
Yes.
That's so unfair.
Yeah, and that's why you need to make sure that, you pick and choose what tenants do around the property. Because, things like that.
Yeah.
leave you exposed.
Exactly. Tell me about smoke alarm compliance. There was some recent changes. Was that January 1st, 2024? With the having smoke alarms in each room?
Oh, that was forever ago. That was years ago.
God, everything feels like yesterday.
And don't ask me what. Yeah, it was. Oh, God.
Was it?
Yeah, that was a while ago.
I feel like that was yesterday. This is how old I am.
2020.
Jeez, 2020 feels like yesterday.
Or even,
6 years ago.
Yeah.
So obviously having smoke alarms in each room,
yes.
you would have a good property manager will have someone that goes out and ensures compliance.
We engage a third party to go out. You engage a third party to check the smoke alarms. It takes the liability away from you as the investor.
Yep.
And also ensures that the property meets compliance consistently throughout the tenancy, because the alarms need to be checked 30 days before a new tenancy commences.
Okay.
And every time your lease is renewed.
Okay.
So you'll pay your once per annum fee.
Yep.
And they'll go through as many times as needed at no extra cost.
Okay.
To check and service those alarms.
Okay, cool. So what is an average 4-bedroom home in Queensland for smoke alarm compliance per annum cost, roughly?
$129.
That's not too bad.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's certainly cheaper than what a compensation claim would cost.
Yeah, it's very true.
If the house, went up in flames and wasn't.
Yeah, exactly. And that's something you can't run the risk on as an owner or a property manager.
No, absolutely not. So when we do routine inspections, we check the smoke alarms to make sure that they are on the roof, on the ceiling.
Because tenants can take them off too.
Yes, because if they're sounding, this is the thing that tenants do, they'll all sound, especially now being interconnected. Yep. One goes off, they all go off. Yep. So then they'll not disarm them properly or try it won't work, they'll take them off the fitting.
Oh.
So then when we go to inspections, we check in, say, hey, where's the smoke alarms gone? Oh, it's just sitting over there. So also, some tenants don't really think about the severity of not having those alarms in place. But for us, obviously, it's
very important.
It's very important.
Let's get to insurance.
Insurance.
Let's talk about insurance. Insurance is very, very important, but I find a lot of people are doing it wrong.
Yes, they are.
What are you noticing there?
I'm noticing that a lot of owners will just go with their bank, people like Allianz, ones that don't actually specialise in landlord protection. Yeah,
so the policies that specialist landlord insurers have are more beneficial to not only the claims process, but to what they offer if something goes wrong, right? Mm-hmm. So I think like Terry Shear what were they at, 20 weeks or 26 weeks or something?
26 weeks.
26 weeks loss of rent.
Yep.
Do you get that with Allianz? Do you get that with some of the other big brands?
No.
So it's very important to have that because I go separate all the time. I always go landlord insurer, Terry Shear or EBM, whichever one the property manager prefers out of those two, and then I'll go building insurance separate.
Yeah, I've had great experience with both EBM and Terry Shear, but what I find is that the people behind that desk or behind that phone are past property managers, so they understand what we are dealing with. Through this process of claiming rent loss, your tenant may have abandoned the property and you're getting it back in order. So whilst they cover up to 26 weeks, I've had Terry Shear and EBM cover further because they understand that there is also that period of getting the property back on the market as well. So your tenant may be in arrears already 26 weeks. They then cover.
So they're very reasonable.
They are very reasonable. Some of the claims have been fantastic.
Yeah.
As opposed to others that don't. Or have never been in the property management world, and just think that this is strictly what your policy says.
Yeah.
So I don't know if they're doing anything.
So no. This is why I'm always going Terry Shear or EBM, and then I always go just building insurance with another insurer always. So how do you know if you've got a good application or a bad application? You've seen plenty of them, right?
I've seen a lot.
Yeah.
So the good applications are ones where tenants have had good rental history.
Yep.
They've been in their property for a long period of time. We look for stability in your current rental.
Yeah. So that's stability.
Yeah, that's stability. Yeah.
Yeah.
In your income and your rental.
Yep.
And in your employment.
Yeah. So yeah. Obviously, someone moving every couple of months and changing jobs every couple of months looks like a bit of a red flag. Yeah. What about Centrelink? Is Centrelink an issue?
It's really important that people don't discriminate against people on Centrelink because we have some tenants that are single mums.
Yeah.
With children.
Yeah.
They're on Centrelink and they're fantastic.
Yeah.
They are far better tenants than some professionals that we've had in a property that have been in rent arrears, left the property in a bad condition. So what we see is these are people that actually have far more to lose. Just like people that are moving out of home for the first time. those tenants are usually worried. So on their applications, they know, if I need my parents to be a guarantor, let us know. But for us, what we see is first-time renters, this is your opportunity to get your rental history going. You stuff this up, you're going to find it very hard to rent again in the future.
Yeah.
So they are the ones that do the right thing, pay their rent on time, maintain the property, because they know that this is their rental history starting.
Yeah.
So they are actually the best.
There you go. Because
just like refugees that we've helped move into properties through organisations that start them off and help.
Yeah.
They then obviously sever that tie, give them that opportunity then to continue the lease, but they also are the ones that really do the right thing.
You know what I noticed about new Australians is you could, like, if obviously you legally can't do this, but if you were to call one of them at 11 o'clock at night and say, listen, I'm coming over to change the light bulb, they'd be okay with it.
Yeah.
Like they wouldn't go, cite this law and this and that.
Yeah.
And you give me this much. They're so easygoing.
So
and
easygoing.
So friendly and honestly, they're some of the best tenants.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, nothing bothers
Yeah.
them.
So looking at properties in, and this is from my experience in Logan or Ipswich, having someone that's on Centrelink isn't an issue. We just usually do the centre pay.
Yep.
Is that still around?
It is still around.
Yeah.
We don't.
This is a couple of years ago because obviously I've changed a little bit in my portfolio.
Yeah, but we don't do. I mean, we don't have it set up that way. I know some agencies still do, but it's the tenant's responsibility to pay their rent.
It is.
So I guess if someone wanted to use that, we'd explore the option, but we don't, have any tenants set up on centre pay.
Yeah.
Because they understand the importance of their rental history.
You need to live somewhere.
You need to live somewhere.
100%. Having a good relationship with your tenants is something that's very important. So giving your tenants, and this is what I've got written down, giving your tenants a bottle of wine or the gift card, like a $50 gift card or whatever it may be. You mentioned that you got some landlords that even give a week's rent.
Yes.
Like that's amazing.
It is amazing. And it just really shows that people are still human. I think there is this separation of tenants.
It's an us versus them.
That's right.
Yeah.
And it's not that. Your landlord is still a human being that is considerate and thoughtful. So, yeah, we have a number of landlords that do that for their tenants. I had a landlord drop off some wine to my home so that he could, so that I could deliver it to his tenant on his behalf. His daughter wrote out a beautiful Christmas card.
Yeah.
And it was attached to the bottle.
And that keeps a good relationship.
It does, because they value that good relationship because they know that it will keep their property tenanted.
Yeah.
And
they look after it.
That's right.
They look after it. I mean, and the thing is about a lot of landlords, they're mums and dads. They're people that they're not billionaires who are trying to screw you out of a dollar. Their landlords are just mum and dads that just refinance their home and are just working to make ends meet.
That's exactly right. And I think that also ties back to maintenance, is that a lot of tenants just assume that landlords have all this money to do maintenance all the time.
Yeah.
So
they don't.
They don't.
They don't.
They don't.
Because they're also paying the negative, especially if they bought recently, they're paying the negative each week on the property, right? Because the rent doesn't cover the mortgage.
No, it doesn't.
Yeah. So 100%. Tell me about raising the rents and what are the laws around that in Queensland right now?
Well, there are no laws.
So it's the wild, wild west or the wild, wild north?
Yes. There are no laws.
Yeah.
Which is why rents can be increased up to 10%.
Yeah. Up to 10%.
Or
every 12 months.
Yes, only once per annum, yes.
Only once per annum,
yes, so you cannot increase the rent like we used to be able to every 6 months.
Yep.
Which I think is good.
Yep.
Also, to be honest, the market isn't really jumping that much in the 6 months anyway. So for appraisals, for example, that I've done 6 months ago, if I was to do one right now, 6 months later, it's still the same.
Yeah. So right now, every year, what are we seeing in average around Brisbane right now in terms of rents jumping? So over the 12 months,
$70 to $150 a week.
70 to 150.
70 to 150 a week.
Okay. But 150 on the higher end, right?
On the higher end, yes. I mean, I've seen this before where I've taken over a management of a property.
Yeah.
And you are looking at the current weekly rent.
Yeah.
When there is such a big increase in rent and there hasn't been an increase for a year or two or three, that's a problem. You might think that you are doing the tenant justice, but it's actually impacting them because it's rather than slowly increasing the rent or increasing the rent to the market value over that period of time, you are now in a position where you have decided that I want to increase my rent and it's $150, $200 extra a week. But it wouldn't be that big of a jump if the rent had been increased because you're trying to bring it up from the low value to what it should be, but it should have been increasing.
Done incrementally.
That's right.
Yeah. So these tenants then all of a sudden have a big hit, right? So out of their weekly budget, you're now taking $200 or whatever you want because you had 4 years of no increases, and then all of a sudden you're hitting them with this large increase. That is a problem for them.
It is a problem for them. And also if you have someone telling you that we should be increasing the rent $10 a week when the market is not saying to do that and it should be $70, you need to increase it to what the market value is. Because if you want to keep those tenants in place, because if the person can't afford it, they can't afford it, right?
Yeah.
And they're going to move out. But at the end of the day, you're going to put it back on the market and you're going to achieve that rent because someone that can afford that will pay that.
Exactly. Yeah. Give us 3 tips to boost returns and increase property value. So things that can help increase rent, but also has a good impact on the value of a property. What are 3 things?
The air conditioning.
Yeah.
So if the property
especially in Queensland.
Yeah, absolutely. No demographic wants to live without air conditioning. Yeah. Now, it used to be the 30-year-olds.
Yeah.
Now it's everybody. So if the property doesn't have aircon, it needs aircon, dishwashers.
Yeah.
And fencing.
Fencing.
And I say fencing, having proper yards where it can be secured or should be secured. Yeah. And it's falling down. They need to be repaired so that the yards are secure, because if you've got children playing in the backyard, the parents want to know that their child is going to be safe and secure. But also if you've got pets, you are approving a pet for the property. That yard needs to be secured.
Yeah.
But also having that people with children and people with pets
will look for this.
Will look for that. And they are people that can afford to pay the higher end rents or want to for that security in a yard.
Yeah, 100%.
Because
now you touched on pets. I want to ask, can a landlord say no to pets?
They cannot flat out refuse a pet now.
Yeah.
Back in the day, yes, but you cannot now. There are rules and regulations around pet applications.
But what about numbers of pets? Like, what if someone rocks up with like 6 dogs?
Then obviously,
like half a farm. Like, what do you do?
Well, hey, I always say to people, you can't have a horse in a unit. So for me, greyhounds and things like that, that's unreasonable. And when you look at when you look at the size of a unit, and you've got a horse like that. You cannot.
Yeah. Have you had that?
Yeah, I have.
Oh, you had that?
Yeah, I have had that.
Wow.
And I will say that that's not suitable. And also as a pet owner,
Was this Eagle Farm?
No, this was Kangaroo Point.
Kangaroo Point, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, no, not a real horse.
No, I'm thinking of a horse. Like I'm like, that's why I said Eagle Farm, because they would race the horse at Eagle Farm.
No, that's why I just realised. Stupid.
All right. Okay.
No, I'm talking like a greyhound.
Greyhound.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah.
They can still race
but
it.
I call them a horse.
Yeah, well, it's a bigger dog. It's not a handbag dog.
No, that's right. Yeah. And also, if a tenant applies with the greyhound in a tiny little unit that's 87 square feet, it's not suitable. So those are things that we look at.
Yeah.
But if a tenant's got a 7-kilo cavoodle, yes, I know that you might not like pets and don't want pets in the property because you've just put new carpet in. Yeah. Well, unfortunately, if the body corporate allows it, then the tenant can have it.
Yeah. Makes sense. Preventative maintenance that saves money.
Yes.
We touched on this earlier, but many landlords will try and avoid certain things. What is one that landlords don't like doing that costs them money later?
Stairs.
Rotten
posts. The step treads. Eventually, and from a safety perspective.
On the high set homes, right? You're thinking,
Queenslanders, they're big ones. Is that, we see wood rot all the time. They start to become unsturdy. Safety for us is obviously so important, and also to protect our landlords. So
this is messed up because I've been one of these landlords. I'm thinking about multiple stairs right now.
Yeah.
I've done this.
Yes.
Okay, yeah. Because it's expensive to do stairs,
It's not cheap. Retaining walls.
Oh no, I've got a retaining wall and a fence as well.
Retaining
You've been
walls,
naming all of them. So I've got a retaining wall and a fence.
They're so expensive
right now.
So I guess you can hold out for as long as you'd like, but the problem is that the building materials go up.
Yeah.
Every single year. The tradesmen's costs go up every single year. So we were organising quotes for retaining walls 5 years ago, and they may have been sitting at $10,000, $12,000. Now they're sitting at $27,000 as a minimum for some of the properties that I've organised quotes on, through the roof.
We've got to get into the retaining wall business.
Yeah, I know.
I'm about to pay on one. I know. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So you're naming all the things that I'm doing wrong as well.
Yes.
So I've got a retaining wall issue. I've got a fence issue.
And also showers.
I've got a shower issue on one of them. That's a separate one. So I've got one shower issue. On another one, I've got a retaining wall and a fence.
Yep.
And the stairs on two ones that I've gotten rid of. But yeah, I've dealt with them. And the stairs are expensive. Retaining walls now are a nightmare.
They are a nightmare.
Yeah.
And also the fences when they're shared assets with your neighbour.
That's what we're going. I'm going through that now. Yeah. Yep. They seem pretty good. My neighbours are good.
That's good.
But fingers crossed.
That's good.
We get through it.
Yeah. At least you can share the cost.
Yeah, well, they're builders as well. So we're trying to work out what the best way is.
Yeah,
so
nice.
We'll make that work. How often do you review your property manager's performance? So for a lot of people, they wouldn't even know how to know. They wouldn't know how their property manager's performing. They would just assume if they hear from them that they're doing a good job. So how do you, as a landlord, know that your property manager is doing a good job? How can you tell from outside? Obviously, you know from inside when you have a look at at the your property me or whatever you're using, right? You'll know when you analyze if you're in the game. But for someone that's not in our space, on the outside, how do they know that the property manager is doing a good job?
For me, I think the best way to tell is if that person is still your property manager.
Yeah.
Like you look at some offices and who you may have spoken to last week is not there.
Okay, they got the staff turnover.
The staff turnover. And I think it's not the property manager themselves as the individual, it is the team as a whole.
Yeah.
So if you've got an office where there is high turnover, the problem starts at the top. You know, in comparison to an agency where those bums have been on that seat since that business opened or for more than the lifespan of a property manager, which is now 12 months, then, you know.
Yeah, it makes sense. It makes perfect sense because there's a lot of turnover, especially with a lot of sales agencies, and we've talked about this in the past. A lot of sales agencies in investor areas are running good sales teams.
Yes.
Sales teams are pumping volume, and the property management is simply a byproduct of a good sales team. And the property management teams, a lot of times aren't very good, and they're just there to hold the asset.
Yes.
Obviously, because you don't want to lose the asset if you're running a big branded agency, right? And we won't name them, but yeah, and I've noticed that the quality's not as good with these guys compared to some of the smaller businesses like yours.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
Yep.
And they don't understand the ins and outs of the day-to-day life of a property manager and what's involved. Like people just think that we sit and collect rent.
Yeah.
There are so many invisible moving parts that people don't see that protect you as the investor.
Yeah.
And if you don't have a team that actually knows that or is experienced,
or a team that doesn't care.
Or a team, that's right. Or a team that just lacks the care, you will be exposed.
Yeah.
And you will start to see that eventually. The cracks might not show now, but they will.
Yeah.
They will.
And I think that's the thing when we talk about when we go back to that $4 a week or whatever, you've got to think about, as a property investor, how these businesses run. And the property management teams that will have the turnover will be running on smaller margins.
Yes.
They will be more mismanaged. They will have more problems. The problems will weigh on the property manager, and then that will result in the turnover of the property managers, right? So that's why you get a new one all the time.
Yes.
Whereas when you look for a smaller business, the property managers are paid a bit better. They might be managing a bit less. The business has less of a margin, but the business will run with no problems or minimal problems.
That's right.
Because it's set up properly.
Exactly.
And then you don't have your turnover of property manager. You get good service. You're happy.
Yes.
Everyone's happy. Tenant's happy. And that's what you need to look for. And I think that's where a lot of people go wrong.
Yes.
They don't think about it from a business model perspective the way I would, right?
Yeah.
Anyway, that's my
No, but I agree because a lot of people look for the big brands.
Yes. They think the big brand is actually good for them.
That's right.
Yeah.
But it is the smaller boutiques that I believe are very important people to have managing your property.
Yeah.
Because, like you said, the margins.
Give us a funny horror story.
Yeah.
Not the bathroom individual.
Yeah.
That had the accident. Give us something that's.
Yeah. My worst.
Give us a viral reel story. Is what I'm asking you.
Yeah, I know.
So
Millions.
cut this up.
Yeah. Oh God, I had a tenant completely abscond.
Yeah.
The house was just left with Well, it was
Rubbish.
left with everything.
Yeah.
It was left with everything. She'd just packed her bags, and I'm assuming some bags for her children, and left with the backpacks on their backs and left the entire property
Wow.
filled with everything. The kitchen had days worth,
Yep.
weeks worth of food just sitting out. I opened the garage door. The garage was filled from top to bottom with unopened Christmas gifts,
Really?
which was quite sad
Yeah.
because, But then I get inside, open the door, and all these bugs just fly out. So I'm thinking, dead body. The smell was
You'd think the
disgusting.
worst,
I was
yeah.
thinking the worst. But no, it was just food left in the sink, the bowls splattered over the floors.
Yeah.
It was disgusting. It was cigarette butts shoved down every bathroom sink.
Yeah. It's pretty bad. I've seen that too. Plenty of people take off, trash the place, holes in the wall, and bonds don't cover it.
No, bonds do not cover it. And the problem is that with this property in particular, well, in any property, is that if the goods total more than $1,500, the landlord must store those goods for 30 days.
Oh.
So not only, I went into this thinking, let's just get a truck and dump it. But you
That's
can't.
what you'd think, right?
Yeah, but you can't. You must put it in storage. So because
30 days.
30 days. So we paid for a storage container, stored it all in there for 30 days, and the tenant never came back for it. So then, though, if you want to get funds from those goods, you must then go to QCAT, get an order to then auction the goods off.
Yep.
Once the auction occurs, you can then...
There's so much red tape there.
So much red tape. It's
Yeah.
not just a tick and flick.
Yeah, there's so much you go through.
Yes.
And I'll give you another one that I really dislike. I dislike whether it's an open house or I obviously don't do routines, but actually this is my open houses. I hate taking my shoes off at a freaking open house and the house is dirtier than the concrete outside. The concrete outside is cleaner and now you're asking and you walk in and I know that carpet has never been vacuumed, it's never been cleaned and you can see on the edges all of the years of built up dirt and they're like, take your shoes off.
Yeah.
Fuck off.
I know. I know.
Dead set.
I know because I also feel that way when
I'm
I've got to
swearing a
tell...
lot more on my podcast lately. So.
Yeah, I'm also going to tell... I feel that way when I have to tell people to take their shoes off because the tenants have asked me to, and it's in that exact condition.
Yeah, and it's actually.
But I like
outside.
to respect the tenants, obviously.
Yeah.
So I'm telling you to take your shoes off.
Now,
but
is it acceptable for you to ask them, okay, do you have a plastic sleeve for my socks?
no,
Because it's
I
obviously filthy in
will
here.
just bring that
Yeah.
and provide it.
So you're just gonna have
Those
to.
little things that go over your shoes.
So you do like put like a cap on, like you're in a hospital, and then put plastic on
Mask,
your feet
yeah.
and a mask. And then,
I do that.
It's so bad.
Yeah.
I can't stand that
I
in
know.
open homes.
I know. And obviously, too, like with some properties, too, that I've sold, and I open the front door, and I'm like, oh, you're kidding. Like,
Yeah.
I'm not about to tell people to take their shoes off.
Yeah.
And you can just see it all over the tiled floors.
Yeah. No, that's my.
Also, the funny thing that I was actually thinking about, because you were talking about opens and routines, I had a tenant. I
What'd you do?
So I went to this property
Yeah.
to do a routine inspection.
Yeah.
Now, I don't know if the tenant was taking the piss or what. I think he was.
Yeah.
He had removed every single door handle and replaced those door handles with dildos. So the only way for me
So you had
to open these doors would be to touch what was attached to the doors.
No way.
Yeah. It was absurd. And then it was attached to his, I didn't need to open the fridge door, but it was attached on his fridge as a door handle to pull his fridge open. Obviously, in the post the routine inspection, I said you need to replace the door handles, put the door handles back on to the doors.
What the hell?
Yeah.
What a weirdo.
Yeah, I know.
Oh.
I know. And I'm just like, has he done this, on purpose? Surely he's done this on purpose because he knew, because that was the first routine inspection that we had
But
since he
taking
moved
each
in.
door handle off would require a lot of time.
But that's right. But just to then stick those in the holes of
What a weirdo.
I know.
That's weird.
Yeah. So we've had things like that. We've had a tenant that will leave out his S&M stuff on purpose.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah. And because it's never, I can't say if it's never been there when we're there, but it was almost placed out on purpose. And we'd asked him multiple times to please put that away when we come for your routines. Will not.
No.
And each time it's like there was more and more stuff put out.
See?
Yeah.
So property managers deserve their pay.
Yes.
That's
Absolutely.
so pay your property manager well.
Yeah.
Because they go through a lot.
Yes.
Give us A success story where good management simply improved the return on investment. That's a good relationship between landlord, yourself, and the tenant. Do you have a circumstance where there's been an issue or a problem that's sort of occurred and everyone's been just very amicable and
well, not necessarily a problem, but we had a property where it was a 3-bedroom, 1-bathroom home, and we could see that if this landlord was to it was a 4-bedroom, 1-bath, but if the landlord was to turn it into a 4-bedroom, 2-bath, then it would obviously increase the return on the property. It would also enable the tenants who are a larger family, the parents to have an ensuite to their room and a bath in the main bath for the kids. We organised quotes, we did the works, we increased the rent significantly to match because it put the property in a whole new bracket. The tenants were more than happy to pay it because for them, the parents got an ensuite, the kids had a bath. So now, used, not just a shower. So, whilst making that recommendation meant the rent would be increased, the tenants were happy because they would be benefiting. The landlord was happy to do the work because they were happy to pay it. So we kept the tenant in there. While the works went on, we reduced their rent for that period. Whilst the works went on, everyone was happy.
There you go.
Yeah.
Tell me, landlords that want to place granny flats on properties.
Yes.
So let's say you've bought well.
Yes.
Through a good buyer's agent, perhaps, and then not naming any names.
Yes.
But you do have a tenant in there now, but you want to put a granny flat on in a year or two. How do you go about negotiating that with the tenant?
We've actually got 3 owners doing that at the moment.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's easy. I say it's easy
because you do it every day.
We do it, but it's just open communication.
Yeah.
Communicating is the biggest piece. Being transparent about what the owner's plans are. So we had a property the owner bought well. We tenanted the property, but during that process, we said to the tenants, hey, this is the landlord's goal, what they envision to do. When that is going to occur, I'm not sure, but it is going to happen at some point. So that they knew what the owner's plans were. The tenants were fine. Knowing that. They still moved in and the works are going to start happening soon. So I think if you just communicate well, everybody will be on the same page. So then, obviously, during the process, we will then start to discuss rent reductions for the disturbance because it's going to impact the enjoyment of the property, obviously. You might not be able to use the yard. If you've got children or a dog, you've got to make alternative arrangements. So it's navigating all that, but, communicating it.
Fencing off the yard early maybe isn't a bad idea either.
Yeah, no, it's not. And that's the first step that these investors have taken.
Awesome.
So,
No, fantastic. Another one that a lot of people might be experiencing is sometimes you get a tenant that's complaining constantly or they're finding a problem with everything. Now, that could be because your property is really old and you've lacked the maintenance. But you might find some people I've met people, and I've got them in my family, that just enjoy complaining.
Yeah, I've got those
sometimes
too.
These people have so sometimes these people come about, right? How do you handle circumstances like that if you do get a tenant like that?
You obviously meet those people with a level of care. First and foremost, because I think that sometimes those people that are like that have had bad experiences with past property managers. So I always try to understand where this stems from when it relates to property and the property that they're living in. Usually, from asking those questions, or I ask certain questions to find out what I need to know, they will then start to rant about how their last property manager was this and didn't do this. So then you know that it stems from that. It's not just them as a person. So, you just got to listen. You've got to listen. You've got to take on board what they're saying and then look at the items that are being reported because if they are in a state, this is also the other thing is that people don't. People that have lived in brand new builds, then move to a Queenslander. They are people that I have experienced
problems with.
Problems with because.
But this comes back to you talking about the root cause. Is find out what it is.
Yes, find out what the root cause is and why they are feeling like your house is falling apart. Also, some tenants will complain about these things because they're worried that you are going to pin them when they move out and that those issues are going to be things that they need to fix. And again, that comes back to past experiences with PMs where they've moved out and the PM said you need to fix X, Y, Z when those things were already existing issues.
Yeah.
And are not necessarily a tenant obligation to fix.
Yeah. Yeah. Makes sense.
Yes.
Makes sense. So they're just worried about what's going to happen.
A lot of tenants live in fear
Really?
because of bad property management experiences that they've had.
Yeah.
So that, for me, it is so important that our team do not operate like that because no one should live in fear of reporting maintenance because then that exposes an investor.
Yeah.
You've got a tenant that's afraid to report maintenance or they're complaining about maintenance or the PM said, oh, you whinge or you complain all the time. Maybe this house isn't suitable for you. So then they feel that they can't share these things and report maintenance.
Yeah.
And then at the same time, those items are just sitting in your property left to fester.
Yeah.
We've got no idea about them until we maybe go and do a routine, which is 3-4 months later.
Yeah.
And now you've got a $10,000 issue as opposed to a $300 repair.
It makes sense. And you want your tenant to tell you if there is an issue coming up.
Yes.
So that you know, so it doesn't actually get worse.
Yeah.
There are items that can get bad and cost you a lot more money later.
Yes, absolutely.
Chelsea, thank you so much. Anyone that wants to get in touch with Chelsea at Heywood Property, she's a bit of an Insta star, so you can get her on Insta. You can you obviously give the office a call. Experienced property manager. How long have you been in the game now? 12 years?
14.
14
yes.
years. Wow.
Lots of experience.
A lot of experience.
Love it. Very passionate.
Yeah, you are, and it comes through in your content. But anyone that wants to get in touch with her on socials, get in touch in the office, or we'll put a link in the podcast. But Chelsea, thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you for watching this episode of Property Banter. We hope you enjoyed it. Please like, share, subscribe. Thank you so much for watching our content, and we'll see you next time. Take care.